Ladies and gentlemen, we're back again. This is the State of the Nerd Union. Pretty much the best podcast that you can find on the internet, if you know one of us. Where we decipher all of the great parts of nerd culture, film, comic books, video games, but mostly nerd film. Tonight, it's me with two of the most reliable guys who show up on here, or I should say two of the guys who show up here the most. That was a joke.
Hey, he's right.
Trevor Law, Judge Trev, Mr. I Am the Law, and the president of the... Go ahead and fill those initials out, Kenny, because I can't even remember them. President of the what?
It's the double NACP.
Double
ACP.
Double NACP apparently is what
You
it
say
is.
N triple ACP?
Every time we say it, it's something new. It's the organization that
NAACP. It's not that hard.
Well, apparently Kenny can't figure out what that is, and that's what he's the president of. And me, well, I'm the resident a-hole, but definitely not 100% a dick. It's Zach, baby. Tonight, we're coming to you. If you heard one of our previous podcasts where we broke down the top 10 nerd films, we threw this idea out there, so we're going to go ahead and record it. It's the top 10 guilty pleasure films. Trevor, why don't you break down that definition again of what you just told me, because you were so eloquent with it.
Okay, so a guilty pleasure movie is a movie you thoroughly enjoy watching. There's actually not really a moment in the movie where you don't enjoy watching it. There's also not a moment in the movie where you're not thinking, this is not a good movie. In fact, this is a bad movie I'm watching. In fact, this is a movie where I'm not sure why it was made. These are not good movies we're talking about tonight. These are not movies that will ever win an award of any kind, in fact. But they will never fail to entertain you. They will always bring a smile to your face. And they will always, always be movies you will feel so guilty for watching.
It's one of those movies where when you have it on DVD on your shelf, and I guess I'm showing my age now by saying you have a DVD or Blu-ray on your shelf and it's not just on your computer or in the cloud, that you're kind of embarrassed when your friend sees it. And trust me, I've got a few of those. So we're going at it tonight, breaking down the guilty pleasures. Has anyone got one on the top of their head that they're willing to discuss in shame?
Deep Blue Sea. I actually, I remember the first time watching that. I was like, okay, this is all right. And as soon as Samuel L. Jackson gets eaten by the shark, that's when I lose it. I can't take it. I couldn't take it seriously anymore. Going back and watching that movie, I have the most fun getting back to that scene, to hear that impassionate speech by Samuel L. Just to have him cut down in the middle of his prime.
Which allegedly, as rumor has it, he was so sick of that movie and so sick of being in it, he demanded they kill him off.
Yeah, they just write him off.
Now, I'll be the first one to say it. I've never actually sat through that whole movie, but I could see why it's on here.
I can't too. That's amazing. All right, so
I have to stay on the Samuel L. Jackson kick.
Okay, all right, go for it.
Because it's a movie that I made you watch, Trevor.
Oh, God.
And I told you that you won't be able to explain why you enjoyed it so much, because there's no reason why it's so enjoyable. And it's so bad at the same time. And that's Snakes on a Plane.
Damn it.
Oh, no.
Okay, so.
Snakes on a Plane. There's no reason why it's good, but as you're watching it...
There is a reason why I enjoy watching it. And it's Samuel L. Jackson's reaction to every ridiculous, outlandish, nonsensical moment in that movie. That being said, I enjoyed it.
You enjoyed the hell out of it.
Oh, God, I did. I liked it. And I hated you. I hated you so much, Zach. I hated you. But I really enjoy watching that movie.
I think my favorite part of the whole movie is that, you know, typically movies build up to a climax, which is typically an event or an action piece or a piece of dialogue that's revolutionary to the plot.
Which,
That's not this film. It's not revolutionary to the plot. It's just
the climax of the movie was a piece of dialogue.
It's the entire movie builds up to when Samuel L. Jackson finally drops an F-bomb.
I'm tired of these mother effing snakes on this mother effing plane.
So I'm just saying, snakes on a plane. I had to get that one out there before we got off Samuel L. Jackson. So Trevor, hit me with something.
It's so terrible. Okay. My personal, it's a bit more obscure than what these two guys are talking about, but no less enjoyable. And it does tragically have an absence of Samuel L. Jackson, which, honestly, if he had been in this movie, I think it would have been one of the greatest terrible movies of all time. Equilibrium, where the premise of the movie is that no one feels emotion. Never mind, ask yourself, how would someone act? Like an actor, someone whose profession was to act, without showing emotion. Because that would be their goal.
I would say, were they all like Spock in Star Trek?
I mean, ideally, but even Spock conveyed emotions.
Oh, no, better yet, they should just watch Kristen Stewart in Twilight.
Oh! That was good, actually.
So good!
Yeah. The movie's terrible, and it has a function, something called gun fu in it, which it's using the techniques of geometry to learn how to stand to avoid getting shot. Never mind that anyone who ever teaches you to shoot a gun teaches you to shoot center of mass, of which the only way to avoid a center of mass shot is to lay flat on the ground, which no one in the movie ever does. And I love that movie. I love it from beginning to end because it's so stupid in all the best ways possible. Terrible movie. Thank you, Christian Bale. Thank you, Christian Bale, and thank you, Taye Diggs.
All right. Equilibrium. Moving on, Kenny. You got something? What's your favorite sucky movie?
Commando.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because of all the action movies that ham it up, and you don't see reloading and so on and so forth. This actually goes to your center mass thing that you just said. It's the end of the movie. He's got a Gatling gun strung across his side, or something. Maybe it was a machine gun, and he's walking across this courtyard, and guys are popping up all over the place. And they have all this time to shoot, and they're shooting at Arnold, just missing point blank.
I've never seen Commando all the way through.
He never stops to reload a weapon.
That's terrible.
I mean, it used to come on all the time on like other cable channels, and like when I got to that, I'm getting older and watching that again. It seems ridiculous. That last scene is he never reloads once, and guys are getting mowed down.
And he never stops firing either.
Oh, God. All right, so I guess it's my turn to pick. I kind of have a tie for this one, and since we're not taking this list so serious, I'm going to have a tie on here. Because it's both comic book movies. One of them is probably my favorite worst movie ever, and that's Punisher Warzone. It is just god-awful. It is the worst piece of comic book movie trash out there. It is just horrendous. All the acting is pretty much Cinemax quality. The characters are... I'm pretty sure third graders could write better characters. Actually, the people on Jersey Shore are more interesting characters. It's just terrible. And it's absolutely lovely. I love to watch that movie and just remind myself of how god-awful it is. Like, literally, like, the ending of the movie is someone gets shot in the head, and it's Frank Castle's friends, and he's like, "Aw, Frank, you got brains on me." It's the last line of the film. But I have to tie it with Blade Trinity.
Oh, I forgot about Blade Trinity.
Blade Trinity. It's Blade is fighting Drake. It's Dracula, apparently. And this movie was riddled with so many behind-the-scenes drama. Apparently, at some point, Wesley Snipes refused to actually shoot alongside Ryan Reynolds and Jessica Biel. And they shot all their stuff separate.
That actually explains a lot at the end of that movie.
That does.
That movie is just so incredibly terrible. It's a movie that decides it's a good idea to have Patton Oswalt play basketball.
Did that happen?
That happened?
That happened. Patton Oswalt plays basketball because that's how terrible this movie is.
God, that's amazing. That's awful. God, I love that these movies exist, because how did they even happen?
I don't know. I couldn't pick between those two being terrible comic book movies that were just so bad they're good. So,
Oh, yeah.
I have.
Oh, and it's got Triple H.
I have another
it's my
tie.
turn, Kenny.
It's got Triple H.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Trevor. Go ahead. Sorry.
So this movie it has to be mentioned, and it sickens me that I enjoy watching it. Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Yes.
It's a movie that, in fact, had the writers had access to spell check, would have made the movie better. It's a movie so terrible that 15 minutes into it, I had to pause it to ask Zach and Kyle, this is a piece of crap, right? Like, it's not just me that this is so terrible, I'm thinking of just walking out and leaving.
As in, this movie is so bad, it's won multiple awards for being the worst movie of all time.
Yeah.
There's not just one, but 2 episodes of Seinfeld dedicated to it, and its badness.
Yeah. It's a movie so bad, Tim Burton made a movie about the director being the worst director in Hollywood.
As more evidence, there's a place in that film where a person is walking through a graveyard that these tombstones are made out of cardboard, and one of them falls.
They fall over.
And you would expect that a director would cut that shot out of the film, but no, he leaves it. It's right in there.
No.
There's like boom mics falling into place.
Yep. Literal dialogue that makes I don't know what they're talking about in parts of the movie, and I've seen it 3 or 4 times now. I've seen it more than that, and I still don't know what they're talking about.
That was actually the first time I'd seen it when I sat there and watched it with you and Kyle.
Yeah, no, that was mine as well.
I had seen Ed Wood, and I thought that was going to prepare me. It did not.
Terrible. It's an awful movie. Oh, gosh. Okay, Kenny.
Give us something good, Kenny. Favorite guilty pleasure movie.
Okay.
Tell something good.
It's kind of bad.
Yeah. This is I had I was saying I have top. It's either it's between 2 Michael Bay movies, Armageddon, and Bad Boys.
I'd say just put them both on there. That's fine. I mean,
No. I actually maintain that Armageddon is almost a good movie. Almost. Doesn't belong on this list.
Wait, say it again. Armageddon is a what?
Almost a good movie. It's not a good movie. I'll never say that. But it's almost a good movie. That scene with Ken Affleck and Bruce Willis, that always gets me a little bit. Again, yeah, Asteroid. I can't call it a guilty pleasure, because that does get me.
I haven't seen it.
All right. Well, then if you just want to put Bad Boys on there, then.
No, I'm cool with that.
All right, Bad Boys.
Like I said, I was stuck between them, so I didn't know.
That deserves. Bad Boys deserves it. Bad Boys 2 deserves it even more.
Bad Boys 1 and 2.
Gosh, there's so many caricatures in that movie.
What's so hard?
And the jokes are horribly insensitive.
All right, moving on, because apparently this is just a giggle fest now between Trevor and Kenny. So I'm going to name another movie.
He makes fun of Russians and Cubans and Miami folk, whatever that consists
there's really
of.
no.
Oh, Russians and Cubans, apparently.
I'm pretty sure they're called Cubans. Anyway, next one.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Demolition Man.
I've never seen it.
You've never seen it? It's a wonderful, terrible film featuring Sylvester Stallone and Wesley Snipes. Ooh, he's been on this list twice.
Yeah!
They're arch enemies in back in 1990, and Sylvester Stallone is the cop who catches them, and they both get frozen in this cryogenic freezing, and they both get released in 2034 or something, sometime in the future. And it's this utopian, hey, everybody's so happy, paradise they're released into. And then, of course, Wesley Snipes is just running around being a dick to everybody with a gun, just running around shooting everything. And it's just half the movie of Sylvester Stallone being an idiot because he doesn't understand what's going on. And it's a movie that's so stupid that Taco Bell is the only restaurant that survived up until that next time period in the utopia. That Taco Bell is the end-all, be-all of restaurants. Not that product placement was a thing or anything.
No, not at all.
Apparently, you didn't watch upscale fast food restaurant. It's nuts.
If you haven't seen it, apparently you didn't watch TBS on Saturday afternoon in 1998, 9, 2000.
So you mentioned Sylvester Stallone, and there are not one but two Sylvester Stallone movies that I watch, and I feel guilty for enjoying. Actually, there's just two. There's just two. One, Rocky IV.
Nope. That is a good movie. That is a good movie.
That is
not going on this list. I will not put that on this list. I am not writing it down. Rocky IV is a good movie.
So tell me why
Rocky IV is not a good movie.
Because he literally punches the Cold War out of existence.
That is the reason why that movie is a terrible.
I refuse to allow that on this list. It's not going on here.
It's a terrible movie. It's the closest thing to pure American propaganda that's ever existed.
Yeah, no.
If somebody 100 years from now,
I submit 1941, Captain America punches Hitler in the face.
American mass media, propaganda wars, Rocky IV would be would be a chapter in and of itself.
Yes, and he ends the Cold War.
Yeah,
in real life.
Yeah. God. Okay, fine, whatever. The other is Tango and Cash.
Not Judge Dredd? That was what I thought you were going towards.
Normally it would be, but man, I really love Tango and Cash. I enjoy it far more than Judge Dredd. Because Tango and Cash embraces every 80s cop trope that's ever existed. And I love it. I'm going
to write down Judge Dredd and Tango and Cash on this one. And Rocky IV is being submitted on the top 10 films of all time. Got it.
No. I will accept that it's not on Guilty Pleasure list, but you're not putting it on that list. It doesn't belong within 100 feet of that list. It doesn't deserve to be on the same computer as that list.
I'm just saying Rocky IV is amazing.
Don't want to see it on the same piece of paper.
No, I don't. I really do.
I only own 3 of the Rocky films. 1, 4, and 6. And by golly, I bought 4.
Oh my God! That's terrible. That's terrible.
No, Rocky V was terrible. Rocky IV...
I'm not disagreeing with you. I don't enjoy that movie, though. I enjoy Rocky IV.
I love Rocky IV.
I also acknowledge it's a terrible movie.
I don't know what you're talking about on that part.
Kenny, please, and talk about something else.
Kenny? I think we lost Kenny.
I don't have... No, I'm still here. I don't have another one off the top of my head right this second.
Well, we've got more than 10 on here.
Oh, gosh.
We got Deep Blue Sea, Snakes on a Plane, Equilibrium, Commando, Punisher Warzone, and Blade Trinity, Plan 9 from Outer Space, Bad Boys, Demolition Man, Judge Dredd, and Tango and Cash. Just to have a nice trifecta of Sylvester Stallone deliciousness.
Oh, wait. The Running Man.
You know, if we're going to put the Running Man on there, we got to have it tied with Total Recall.
Total Recall! How could I not have remembered Total Recall? Oh, I love that movie. Go.
That's Trevor's impersonation of me watching Total Recall.
Get to the reactor, Quaid.
Open your mind.
How could I forget Total Recall? Okay, I've never seen Blade Runner. Probably never will. But Total Recall.
You gotta see Blade Runner.
Whoa, what is he about to say?
Oh, what's just funny is that I look at these lists, and, you know, we did the 2 top 10s. The other top 10 was the top 10 nerd films. This was just top 10 guilty pleasure films, but they all end up coming out to be nerd films. I mean, Punisher Warzone, Blade Trinity, Plan 9, Demolition Man, Judge Dredd, Total Recall, Running Man. Most of them are like dystopian futures, sci-fis.
Zach, it's almost like that this podcast is called State of the Nerd Union.
I know. We can't get past that. And you know what? I don't want to.
I don't either. I love it. Love it.
That's why I literally make all my friends get around the computers and record them listening to me talk.
Okay, I just make people listen to me talk. Just not even.
Wait, what?
It was a joke, Kenny. Give it about a month, you'll catch on to it.
Yeah. He made it funny within a funny.
Dickwad.
Ah!
Not 100%.
Says you.
Yeah.
Ooh, what about The Rock?
There's only one Rock movie that really is a guilty pleasure of mine, and that's The Rundown.
I think he was talking about The Rock, the film.
No, that's not a guilty pleasure. I don't feel guilty watching that movie.
Anything with Nick Cage in it.
Like, the Sean Connery is why I watch it, but I feel guilty because Nick Cage is in it.
See, no, that's like one of the few, like, okay, not only should it be a guilty pleasure, because Nick Cage and Michael Bay are involved in that movie, but it's...
Okay, then I changed my answer to Con Air.
Thumbs up. Don't forget Face Off.
I was thinking Face Off because he has the most ridiculous faces in the entire thing in there.
God, that movie is ridiculous. Like, I am laughing hysterically at the beginning to end of that movie.
Face Off.
It's so terrible. Oh, gosh, like, how did it get made is the question I'm wondering the entire time.
Don't even know.
Yeah. Oh,
Face
God.
Off. All right. Well,
I think we're forgetting one.
I'm trying to think of something else. It's
I mean, this feels like a really complete list.
I mean, are we going to include the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies from when we were kids? Because let's be honest, those are not good movies, but I enjoy the hell out of them.
Good. First one's good. I rewatched
All right,
it.
well, fine then. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, because I will freely state that that's not a good movie, but I love every second of it.
Yeah, no, that I'm with you on. Can't.
Yeah.
When a movie's so bad, Corey Feldman doesn't come back for it.
Holy crap, he wasn't the first one.
Yeah, he's the voice of Donatello.
Yep.
I know.
And Sam Rockwell.
Who was Sam Rockwell? Oh no, he was a foot soldier.
He had a cameo as one of the.
He was one of the foot soldiers in training.
Yeah, he was a foot soldier.
That's right.
I have to look this up.
Yeah, it happened. And Kevin Nash is in number 2.
Yeah, one of the teenage.
I don't care about Kevin Nash, But Sam Rockwell.
Yep. He's in it. Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen. Unless we come up with a last-minute guilty pleasure, that's going to do it for tonight. This has been the most reliable podcasters we got. Trevor Law, Mr. Lawman, Ken Ship, the president.
You can bet your bank.
You can bet your bank he will try to sneak into your franchise and destroy it from within. And, well, just me. Good night, everybody.
Good night, y'all. We love you.